Shelby Bush here with We the People USA. In modern day times, don't question your elections or you're thought of as a conspiracy theorist. But what if you have absolute facts of things that are going on in the election? We've been looking into this election for a long time, and during our investigations, uncovered the fact that many thousands of unsolicited voter registrations or voter registration updates have been entered into the system that voters have reported they had nothing to do with. We couldn't figure out how that happened, and so we started doing some more digging and recently uncovered something that we believe is pretty profound, and it may be the answer we've been looking for a long time. On 5/15/2020, May 15th of 2020, Secretary Hobbs decided to pilot a new program. This program is a 501c3 URL access to direct upload voter registration files into Service Arizona. For those of you that don't know, Service Arizona is how we get duplicate driver's licenses, update our addresses and our motor vehicle profiles, and also where we can register or update our voter registration profiles. So we know recently people have been indicted for hacking into the system and stealing people's identity. So it's not unheard of for this to happen. The interesting thing is the Secretary of State talks about this program right on her website. And in that program, she states that the Arizona Secretary of State office has developed an online voter registration or OVR unique URL program, encouraging organizations conducting large-scale voter registration drives to do so electronically and securely through the Service Arizona website, rather than relying exclusively on paper forms. Approved organizations participating in the program will be assigned a unique URL to use and or distribute for voter registration purposes, and will receive periodic reports of valid voter registrations and updates submitted through their assigned URL. The goals of the program are to, number one, increase complete and valid voter registration submitted through voter registration drives. 2, protect sensitive voter information collected during voter registration drives. And 3, reduce the burden on county recorders and the Secretary of State's office of processing paper registration forms from voter registration drives. So number 3, let's think about that for a minute. Once again, our government has chosen to decrease security and trade it for convenience. Not our convenience, but theirs. So why is this an issue? Let's walk through the facts. Number 1, let's look at the organizations that were approved by the Secretary of State for this special access. We have Arizona Students Association, Arizona Centers for Disability Law, Chicanos por la Casa, Equality Arizona Foundation, Inspire to Vote, Mi Familia Vota, One Arizona, Rock the Vote, Phoenix Indian Center, and the Civic Center. All of these have ties to radical leftist agendas who have been working to turn our society into the socialist communist environment they desire. Number 2, the Arizona Secretary of State provides them with concise lists of who they go out and register, or the registration changes and updates that are made to a voter profile under their URL. This is ripe for giving them the walking list they need to go out and harvest ballots to make sure that they have an even larger impact on our elections. 3, one of the first things that came to mind and my immediate concern is, does this one-way access create additional security concerns that leave our entire voter registration system vulnerable? Well, after speaking to former Marine white hat hackers who breach tested vulnerabilities for government systems, the answer is it very well could, yes. And the public posting of this URL could also leave it vulnerable for web bots that are out there hunting for vulnerabilities to break into the system. Now, vulnerability would need to exist for this to happen, but the bottom line is it can exist even without cooperation of the 501c3 that's involved. But the bottom line is we don't need to worry about hackers because our Secretary of State gave radical leftist organizations a key right into the front door, the ability to download and upload information, modifying people's voter rolls, entering duplicate voters, entering people that maybe didn't even desire to vote. And this access leaves our entire voter rolls vulnerable to massive bloating, errors, and ballots being sent to the wrong addresses. So do we know there's a problem with our voter rolls? Absolutely we do. And now we can know who's behind it. Our Arizona Secretary of State and 7 or 8 of the most radical leftist organizations in the state of Arizona. So we learned a lot about this program and studying what was on the website, but we ended up with more questions than answers. So We the People USA issued a FOIA request to Secretary Hobbs's office. We want to know, what are the policies regarding the implementation of this OVR online voter registration URL, the date of implementation, who administers the program, a complete list of organizations that applied, and copies of their applications. Were any constitutional 501c3 organizations invited to participate in this program? Did any of them apply and get rejected? A complete list of those accepted applicants and denied applicants. How was the program marketed to 501c3 organizations? A copy of all marketing materials and how the political parties were notified of access to this program. We do know that the Democrat Party, the Libertarian Party, and the Republican Party all have URL access. So We the People USA wants to get to the bottom of this and how it affects us, because we know without clean voter rolls, we do not have clean elections. So thank you, and we hope you'll join us in asking questions as We the People USA investigate this matter.